All right, welcome back to DTR's YouTube channel. I'd like to start off by saying thanks for all the new subscribers who've tuned in, as well as all the current subscribers. We really do appreciate it. If you like these videos, always remember to hit that thumbs up button. So let's get on with the next video. All right, welcome back. We're going to take a quick look at the progress we've made on our 442 project, primarily just the chassis. We took the chassis and all the chassis components to the powder coater that we frequent. They then sandblast everything and powder coat everything, and makes for a really bulletproof result as far as a chassis goes. Holds up a lot better than paint does, so that's why we choose to sandblast and powder coat rather than sandblast and paint. And as far as cost, it is also much more cost effective doing it this way than just taking it for sandblasting it, bringing it back, and then going through the paint process. And again, like I said, this is a much more durable system for a frame. It's going to hold up much better. So let's take a look at what we've got so far. So we started getting the frame put back together as much as we could. Unfortunately, as we're all aware, availability for parts is really hit or miss. So what you're seeing is everything we had to work with that the customer provided. The front end is getting a new disc brake system. Of course, we've been waiting for that pretty much as long as we've had this project. We do have the rear disc brake system here, but the customer made a kind of a last minute decision to put a posi rear in this car. So with that, we decided to tear down the rear end housing, and that is also out at the powder coater right now. I'm expecting to have that back this week sometime. And hopefully we'll be getting the parts we need to get that back together, just so we can get to the point of getting this car back to being a roller. We also sent the wheels out for powder coating. Here's some other parts, the drive shaft and the springs and the sway bars. They're all blasted and powder coated, and kept one of the wheels in here. The nice red line tires, but wheels are powder coated. It's argent gray is the color that this is supposed to be to represent the factory look. And then this will get those stainless rings around each of these, as well as a beauty ring, and a nice new center cap. And these wheels will really look great when they're all together. as well as the, you know, those are radial tires. They appear to look like bias ply, but those are radials. We have our 455 here. The engine for this car, we have run and broken in this engine. We did have a few little leaks, actually just one leak that we had when we got it back from the engine builder. We discovered when we were running it, so we had to do a little bit of rework on that. So we're going to try and get that running this week again, make sure our leak is fixed. But other than that, the engine ran smooth, it sounded great, and it's broken in, and the next thing will be to tear it down a little bit and get a nice coat of gold paint on it and set it into the chassis. We also have the transmission back. I've probably mentioned that in an earlier video. We sent that out right when we got it out, and that's all freshly gone over and rebuilt. So once the engine's ready to go in, we'll set the transmission right in and, you know, make this thing a nice rolling chassis. One of the things that's always fun in rebuilding these chassis and can be kind of a sketchy project is coil springs. We did start by using a spring compressor, thinking we would need it, but if you watch the video of us disassembling the front end, using the lift and keeping the frame clamped to the lift, we can use the lift and a floor jack to get the springs out as well as get them back in. So I have some footage of that project, and let's take a quick look at that right now. So right about here is where we decided to not use the spring compressor. We had started using it and then saw that it was going to be more in the way than anything else, so we took that out and we just went ahead and put the springs in kind of the way we took them out, just by utilizing the lift and the floor jack to, you know, lift up the frame and move the lower control arm up and down. Here we're jacking up on the grease fitting on the lower ball joint, so before we put too much pressure on it, we wanted to take that out, and that went in actually relatively easy. Put the castle nut on both ball joints and the first one was in. So basically we're just going to repeat what we did on the right side on the left side. We get everything prepped and in place and ready to go, so that when we're compressing the spring, all we got to do is pop one of the ball joint nuts on and it's all together. So here again, we're just using the jack and making sure the spring's in the right spot. There again. This time the lift didn't want to really pull down on the frame, so we just had to use the jack a little bit more to get it together. And that's the left side. So now the springs are in,
but upon trying to put the shock absorbers on, we realized that the coils were not in the top perches correct, and we had both springs in upside down. So we took it all apart and flipped them over and did it all over again. Oh well.
So to take a quick look at our progress on the body, the whole body's been epoxied, and right now I decided to replace this panel as well as this one that I've been provided with. Where is it? Right there, which will repair kind of this very top part. But after really investigating, it's going to help if I replace this part as well. And the customer found just this top panel available. They do make a section which is this inner section and outer section as a whole unit, but I didn't want to get into having to open up so much to reinstall it essentially the correct way. So I'll just be able to fill this in as needed, but being that there's so much rot on this, it's going to make my life so much easier. I mean, I do still have some rust that's actually underneath this piece, but between this piece and the top piece going on, we can really kind of bridge these back together and salvage this whole area. But again, I'm waiting on that. I'm hoping to see that very soon. And I do have another couple, actually just the trunk drop piece for in here that I'm gonna be replacing, as well as this. This side down here is all done, tuned up, as well as where are they at? Oh, you can't see them from under here. As well as the rusted out floor patches on each side. Those are all, whoop, light just went out. Those are all done. So that's where we're at with the body. So that kind of brings everybody up to date on the status of this project. Between the holidays and waiting for parts and everything else, this project has been moving along a little bit slow, but it's starting to take shape now. One of the things I didn't mention, as far as the frame goes, when it comes to the control arms, trailing arms and everything like that, like all the old bushings and such were all pressed out before everything went to sandblasting and powder coating, and then everything was replaced with new bushings. And we went with the factory style rubber bushings. We talked about maybe getting the neoprene or urethane or whatever they are, those type. But for this car, what it's going to be, the old rubber bushings that were in it were in pretty decent shape. So putting these new ones in, or these replacements in, they'll definitely do an adequate job. But I just want to verify that none of the old parts got reused. Everything got replaced with new moving parts. But that's where we're at. So hopefully this week, my customer told me that he's going to be paying me a visit. Hopefully bringing me some more parts so we can keep moving along with this project. And when we do, you'll see it on YouTube. And remember to hit that thumbs up. Remember to subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching. See you next time.